Hi everyone, I hope that you're having fun fronting United. It's a really beautiful city, Utrecht. We're going to talk about ambitious editorial experiences with Headless Drupal. I'm going to explain more or less what is my vision and the experience that we have after working for a few times in the couple application. Quickly, this is me, Ruben Teijeiro, or Teijeiro. I consider myself like a Drupal hero. Spend a lot of time doing Drupal, traveling around Europe, and just mentoring, speaking, partying. I work in 1x Internet, and that's my Twitter handle if you want to complain, okay? You want your money back, a refund. I also driving this initiative, Drupal Heroes. I just print the stickers. There are a few spare ones, the Deadpool only. And after the session, you can just come and just pick them up, so I don't need to travel back with them again. 1x Internet is an agency, it's a Drupal shop in Frankfurt. Is correct? Drupal shop? Yes? Yeah? Good. It's located in Frankfurt, and it's a really diverse team. I don't know, we have 11, 13 different nationalities. And after organizing the Drupal Camp in Iceland, that it was like the coolest Drupal camp ever, they decided to move to somewhere warmer. So we opened an office in southern Spain, actually in Colil, that is, yeah, where that guy is surfing, yes. We are hiring, by the way. So if anyone is interested in joining us, because you consider that it's cool what we are doing, just find me in the corridor, so you can find Barry, Christoph, or the rest of my colleagues. So, as you can see, not because of the guy of the bike, the front end is moving super quick these days, and pretty much quicker, and it's evolving pretty much quicker than the back end. So that's what happens almost every day. Like new JavaScript framework is the definitive JavaScript framework, is the one that you should use to solve all your problems. Every day happens the same. Actually, I guess there are like one JavaScript framework with a name of every word in the dictionary, like Cupcake.js, Beer.js, you know. This screen is super huge. So I'm gonna go through quickly, because we're running out of time. How is my experience, or what was my experience, or how I visualized the evolution of the web applications since the web was invented, let's say. So in the beginning, we started, building websites like in a really, say, rustic or old school way. Building from scratch, using any language or anything. And what happened is always the end result is not what you expected. But then some, let's say, frameworks or CMSs started to populate. And I describe it here, the ones I use since, I don't remember, but since 2000 more or less. Subs or SOAP. Few of them are PHP, others are Java, others are Python. So more or less that's the experience I had until I found Drupal. Then it's when I stopped everything and I dedicated more time into digging into Drupal. So a part of the software itself that became a little bit more, application based, like instead crafting everything from scratch. Everything started to be like bundled in products or in applications. Also, we have an architecture evolution. So the way that we build websites a few years ago is different, like we are building them. Let's say that when you start with a corporative website, that's how you almost start. When a customer asks for a new project, let's say that's a cooperative website, but the customer comes with, now we need an e-commerce platform, just put it on top on the same code base. And then the customer comes and says, I need a CRM, or I need an ERP, or I need. And then what we do is, because we need to pay the rent, we do just work and put all stuff together in the same bucket. So continue putting stuff until we end up in a monolithic application. That's what we consider a monolithic application. The visual representation of that monolithic application is this one. So after a while, the application becomes unmaintainable, really difficult to even evolve, adding new stuff. So everything collapses, everything goes to hell, the project is a pain in the ass, and the customer is not happy. So what is the solution, or what is the approach, or the strategy that we are following right now? Is just separating stuff in different components or different applications that are interconnected. So in this case, the use of the Internet Explorer logo was intentional, because we are open. I did the same for WordPress as well. So the idea of this graphic is like all the applications are interconnected using any web services or any other way of messaging between them. So if one of the applications goes down, the rest of the ecosystem of the applications continue working. So for example, if your e-commerce platform goes down, the rest, your intranet or whatever is still working. So this approach is pretty much secure, and also it's easy to maintain and to evolve. And also we have, right now, we are experiencing new web trends. So the web is changing, and we are changing as well the way we see the web. So for example, you can see that almost everybody has a smartphone. They are using, for at least 40% of the traffic is mobile, comes from mobile. So we need to change the way we consider, or we design our applications or web applications. It's not the same to design an application for this screen than design it for like a small device. Also, there are like something that we call browserless devices. Those are devices that they don't have a browser. Does anyone in the room has an Apple Watch? Yes? Can you tell me how you browse, let's say, Drupal.org in your Apple Watch? Is there any way I can do that? Open a website? Nope. Then we have a problem. So we need to find ways of these kind of devices can communicate with all web platforms. Also, we have the Internet of Things. That is this kind of new widgets, sensors, and stuff that also are interconnected. And most probably they need a place where they can store the data, or they can just pre-process data or post-process data. So it's the same. They don't have any browser, they don't have even a keyboard, a mouse, a screen, So they're like standalone widgets that are like working and transmitting information over a network. So as you can see, that our way of working is changing. So we just not build websites, but we are building web applications, and they can be like for humans, or even they can be for machines. So what happened in the market? So if we consider that technology and people is changing, so what is happening in the market? In this case, what we find is that the way we are interconnecting applications and building applications is changing. One of the samples is the Akia Content Hub and the Digital Assets Management. There are two examples of how you can build one application that has one specific role. For example, in a digital assets management platform, you can store images, videos, audios, and that's the thing. So you just improve the user interface, so the editors have a proper, way of managing this kind of assets. And it's not the same managing text or than managing images. So the metadata and also the way you just, visualize it, or even when we analyze it, is different. And those applications can be interconnected with others. That means that, for example, if you have an agency working as a photographer provider, and you have another agency working as a content provider, you can give them access to different applications. And from your own website, the corporate website, you can connect with those. When you are looking for an image, you automatically search in the DAM, or when you're looking for specific content, you can just search in the content hub or content repository. Another thing is they're starting to populate, let's say, the couple CMSs or API first CMSs, like Contentful. I guess there was a speaker from Contentful. Is here in the room? Nope. So this is a commercial platform that is built specifically for doing the couple applications. So it just has a content management system, pretty much, simple. So everybody can use to create content, and then the way of consuming content using a web service is pretty much easy. We also have an open source version of an API first or headless CMS. That is Directus, is building Symfony. Yes, I recommend that you have a look. It's pretty good. And it's open source. So in this case, is what is Drupal doing to catch up with all those changes? So what are the initiatives, or what are the, what is the roadmap for in Drupal? Just to be sure that we are not completely misaligned, or or trying to catch up with the market, or we are so late. So yeah, we started with rebuilding the code base. So we just let's say that upgraded the code base from arrays of Doom to a proper object-oriented programming using Symfony, and also Composer for managing dependencies. More or less is what is standard right now in the PHP world. We have as well a really big improvement in the front end. So we just released Twig in core. Twig is a template system that comes from Symfony, and that allows that allows front-end developers that they don't have experience or previous experience with Drupal to jump into a Drupal project pretty much easily, or easier than before. So it's also more secure. It doesn't allow people to put PHP code or SQL queries or crap in your templates. So more or less it keeps everything clean and safe. We have also dynamic page cache that improves a lot of the performance, and also the way that you invalidate the cache is it depends on context. Let's say the IP address where you are visiting, the role of the person is visiting the website. You can invalidate parts of the page, not the whole page, but parts of the page, depending on those contexts, those factors. Another thing is Big Pipe. Anyone knows what is Big Pipe? Yes, good. Okay, Big Pipe is a technology that comes from Facebook, and allows to lazy load components that they are pending for the response of a third-party web service. Is clear, or shall I repeat it? More or less is when you go to Facebook and it's loading, you can see that there are like placeholders all around, and they are like fake until they actually load the real content. Simple. So that is right now in Drupal core, and you can make use of that. So parts of your website that need to do a request to a third-party place where it's gonna load any stuff. So the whole page is load, but this specific thing is gonna be updated or re-rendered when the data comes from the third party. And the render is only in that part, not the whole page. We did a lot of improvements in UX that we will come back to that, because the improvements that we did, they were really good, but not enough. And that's why we are here. I'm talking about that, and that's why you are sitting there. So it's true that the UX in Drupal is the worst, or it used to be the worst. And we have always, comparisons with other CMSs or other platforms, and it's like Drupal is like designed from developers to developers. But right now we are working really hard in changing this. We have also accessibility. Yesterday I attended a couple of sessions related to accessibility, and when you listen people, telling you that your web is not accessible, and also that your web looks like crap because for a screen reader or something, you really want to do things the right way. I guess that should be by default. So that's one of the things that why Drupal is compliant, AA compliant in accessibility, and probably there would be more work in the future to make it even better. One of the best things that we can agree that was releasing in Drupal 8 was the multilingual. I guess just a few CMSs in the market can handle multilingual sites like Drupal in a really, really detailed way, in a really, really complex way. But for the person building the site, is just a few clicks to enable the languages and just start to translate every piece of the platform. Security, we did a lot of improvements in security, but they were not enough. So we got 3 Drupal add-ons, and more or less that's the face of the developers that they were patching. Websites until 2-3 a.m. Even though we have a really good security team, these kind of things happen, but this is when you prove when a community, so open source community, is good enough or not. So you compare with how Microsoft managed the WannaCry, I guess we did a great job. API first Drupal. So this is this is where everything started. So we agreed in that we really need to have a strategy regarding Drupal to be API first, and then like a normal CMS. So, but the one of the strategies that we have and one of the priorities was to be sure that the whole Drupal can be consumed by an API. So. I really like to call the initiative Headless Drupal, but it looks like it's not accurate enough, so we call decoupled Drupal. And decoupling means separation, and then what we do is separate parts of your website that you want to do in a different way, like Drupal is doing nowadays. So different ways of decoupling. You can decouple just the fronting, so it means the parts that visitors are facing or the visitors are touching. That means that it's not authenticated, or even the visitor is not gonna do any other interaction just to maybe submit a form or just click around. So for that we have a good example, that is Lufthansa. They did in-flight and media entertainment application that is a Drupal 8 project, the couple, and the application that they have in the tablets on board is built in something else. I don't remember if it was Angular, but I guess it was Angular. So more or less this is the application. Drupal 8 is in the backend, and I know that it's in the backend because I found this job offer in LinkedIn, and it's for Hungary. Actually, they are developing in the Lufthansa Hungary. And when I went to this Drupal conference that is in Hungary, Drupaladon, I met the project manager of the project, so I have a chance to discuss with them if they found any issues, any problems with the couple project. But it was quite good. It was a quite good solution, and they were satisfied with how Drupal was managing the API, and he was providing all the REST interfaces. Another thing is accessible solutions. It can be, as I said before, it can be like they're like devices with no screen, no keyboard, no mouse. Let me check if we have time for a few videos. Have you seen the video of the Amazon Echo integrated with Drupal? Just raise your hand, because if you already have seen it, it's probably you can skip. Okay. The majority didn't raise the hand, probably, or either are sleeping or they didn't watch it. So let's have a look, and you tell me that you don't like it. I guess it's this one. Can you see this? No. Wait. You should be able to see it now. Yes. I don't have audio now. What? Yes.
Alexa, start Georgia Gov.
Welcome to Georgia Gov. Feel free to ask a question.
How do I renew my driver's license?
Does this sound helpful? Getting and renew your driver's license.
Yes.
The Department of Driver Services helps you earn, renew or replace learner's permits and licenses. To carry a full license for everyday, non-commercial vehicles, you must be at least 16 years old.
What it shows is how why we are here now. Crap. Okay, in the meantime I explain. What it shows is how you can just create a module in Drupal 8 that connects with the API, the Alexa API, and then you can expose it for anyone to interact with Alexa without needing any keyboard or anything. So in this case, the module is already available in Drupal.org. I will share the slides later and you can have a look, but it's pretty much easy to do a mapping from the questions. For example, the lady was asking how can extend or renew the driver license, and what you do is mapping these kind of questions with a few answers that you have in your own knowledge database stored in Drupal. That's like one of the examples. You can just do other things. Let me check. I guess I have. Yeah, for artificial intelligence, I have another demo that is related to chatbots. I hope you like it because they are super inspiring. They are like they come from Akia Labs, that is Preston. He was speaking yesterday. It's pretty cool.
Have you ever had trouble crafting the perfect menu for a dinner party, or have just been too busy to put one together? Shane is swamped at work. Her Friday is packed with back-to-back meetings when she suddenly realizes that she invited her friends over for a barbecue tomorrow, and she doesn't know what food she's going to prepare. She opens the app for her favorite supermarket, Fresh Market, and taps on Chat Now with FreshBot. She's heard FreshBot makes it quicker and easier to shop for exactly what she needs, but she's never tried it. FreshBot says hi. Shayna interacts with FreshBot, which asks her questions to figure out exactly what she needs for her event, like what kind of meal it is, and how many people will be there. FreshBot uses an interaction model to know what questions to ask, like if anyone has any dietary restrictions. Thanks to FreshBot's reminder, Shayna remembers that her friend Ali recently became a vegetarian. Almost instantly, FreshBot sends her a list of recipes drawn from a database on the Fresh Market Drupal site. Some entrees, some sides, and Shayna's pretty impressed. This barbecue's gonna rock. She decides to check out the hamburger recipe to see how many steps there are to make it, so the app serves the recipe content directly from the Fresh Market Drupal site. FreshBot asks her if she wants it to put together all of the ingredients into a handy shopping list. Shayna, realizing she only has time to stop by Fresh Market tonight after work, says yes. FreshBot stores her selected recipes on the website for later. After grabbing coffee, Shayna goes back to work at her desk. Just as she's about to leave work, Shayna decides to take a look at how long that shopping list is before she heads to the store. She goes to the Fresh Market website where she's logged into her account. Shayna goes to her My Shopping List page, where she sees all the ingredients from the recipes automatically pulled into one convenient list. She's pretty happy with the length of the list, so she shuts her laptop and makes her way out the door. Off to Fresh Market.
Quick, a little bit longer, but more or less what it explains is how you can just interact with let's say e-commerce platform in a total different way than what we are used to. So you just jump into a chat box and then you start to do questions. You just receive the answers and even you can just buy from there. So as you can see, it's a completely different way of interacting with the web platform, web application. And exactly the same. For this chatbot, I guess there was a available module. And actually they did the integration with Facebook during the Obama the Obama presidency. But since Trump is in the White House, it looks like it's terrible for Drupal because they just remove all that stuff, and probably, I guess, whitehouse.org is not Drupal anymore, it's WordPress. But still, let's see what happens. Chatbots. Also, with Rocket Chat, we are doing as well a few integrations that they will allow even to, to create a bot that can, do stuff for you from Rocket Chat. So there are different ways just to do this kind of integration with chatbots. This video is new. I don't know if you have already seen it, but this I found it pretty much.
Navigating through a large or unfamiliar grocery store to find all the items on your list isn't any fun. Wouldn't it be great to have a shopping route which guides you to your items? What if you could learn more about an item simply by looking at it? Luckily, Alex uses the Freshland Market app on her smartphone. As Alex walks up to Freshland Market, the app pops up a notification. She taps it and a map of the store appears, showing where all of the items on her list are located. With the map as a guide, Alex walks over and grabs a bag of potato chips. When she looks at it with her smartphone, the app recognizes it and displays useful information, like its price and user ratings. Alex checks the potato chips off her list in the app. Next is pasta sauce. Unfortunately, she's not sure which one she wants. With the help of the user reviews and ratings the app superimposes on top of the camera view, she can make an informed decision. This one looks perfect. Last up, cereal. Alex recently chose to avoid processed sugars and already configured the app to tell her if anything contains them. The app tells her that her favorite, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, isn't a good fit. Honey Nut Cheerios also have processed sugars. Finally, Alex checks a box of Rice Krispies cereal and bingo, low processed sugars. Suddenly, Alex sees a new notification suggesting that it might be time to buy milk to go with her cereal based on her purchase history. Good catch. The app updates the shopping route and redirects her to the dairy section. Shopping finished. Time to head to the checkout line.
Enough videos right now. You're gonna think that I came not to speak, just to play videos and look at them. So I use those videos because they explain really well the concept. So, let's go back to the editorial experience because that's the topic of the session and how we really want to improve the editorial experience in Drupal itself. So one of the samples is what WordPress did for their administration or editorial interface. They created Calypso, that is a React application, and they did a really good job. So they managed to make it work, and it's already available in WordPress.com. Even they have a desktop application. I don't know. I tried a little bit, but it was when they released it. So that brings to what's going to happen with Drupal 9. One of the things that at least Dries mentioned is that in Drupal 9 we really would like to have a decoupled application in React, to consume and interact data with content, with the Drupal content. So for that, we have a few initiatives. One of them is the API First initiative, where there are a bunch of people working. Actually, they were sprinting here all week to create the concept. You have a link there if you want to join. They have regular meetings. I guess it's on Mondays at 6 or something. There's a JSON API module. That is the one that we are using for the platform I'm going to show later. The JSON API module came because the REST payloads from that came from Drupal were not standard. They were really bad. So then we needed to, more or less standardize them using JSON API. Also, we have GraphQL. That is another product from Facebook, and that helps with doing complex queries that require a lot of performance because they are like, let's say, nested queries or something. GraphQL will help a lot for that, and it's already ready for use. And probably in the upcoming months, there will be plans to have the GraphQL in core as well. Then we have Relax web services. That's another approach to create web services. In this case, what Relax does is more or less simulates like Drupal is acting as a CouchDB database. So that means that you can just, it's really good for real-time applications. It's pretty quick. From the Relax web services came the workflow initiative. Workflow, yes, I was confused. Yeah, they changed the name several times. Workflow initiative, and now it's in core. I guess not stable, but it works, and it allows you to do content deployments. Let's say that you have a test environment and you have live, then you can deploy content, no configuration or no code. You can deploy the content to live. That will open a really big range of different applications, like for example the Content Hub that I mentioned before. Drupal Deploy is one initiative that ended up in being the workflow initiative. Progressive web applications as well is another paradigm of applications that they are like, the use case for these ones are like more or less to handle the offline. That means that when you are using an application, let's say that you're doing a checkout, you're buying something, and then you just jump into a plane, you don't have Wi-Fi, you can just continue doing your shopping, and when you just get out of the plane, automatically syncs whatever you did with the server and sends your order or whatever. So those are the progressive web apps, more or less. They're really appropriate for that. We have Waterwheel as well. It's a SDK in JavaScript and in iOS. I don't know if it's available in Android. Preston is not here. I guess he left yesterday, so we can't ask him. But this is pretty much a collection of utilities to allow you to just spin up a project, a decouple project pretty quickly. Then we have Reservoir, that is a Drupal distribution that is also ready for decouple projects. And we have Contenta CMS as well for the same. People is asking me what is the difference between Contenta and Reservoir, and I don't really know, seriously. I guess they are doing the same. Okay, and now we come to Das app. You like the name? we came with that in the last minute. Okay, I'm going to explain exactly what we did for improving this editorial experience. First, the application is based in JSON API, as I said, Drupal 8, of course, and React. Okay, I don't know anything about React, so if you have questions about React, don't worry, Martin is there to answer. Michael, just sit down there because he doesn't want me to ask him, but anyway. So, okay, let's go to the bullets. The intention of the application was to have inline editing. That means that you click and you can edit. No, you just click edit, page load, then wait for everything, fill the form things, and save. Now just click, type, save. More or less, had anyone use, let's say, Medium or other, it's more or less that seamless behavior. Then zero latency editing, so not waiting times, no page reloads that they're horrible. Also instant preview, that as long as you click and you type, you see how the content is, behaving. Sometimes you know that you have problems when you have an image aligned to the rest or to the live, then you put a lot of text and the image is pushed or is not pushed. The kind of things, they can be really easy because you are being real time. It's an app feeling for the editor because they are in one screen, in one, let's say, dashboard interface, and they can click around, and it's super cool. And easy access, more or less, whatever editor, journalist, or whatever they would love to have is what we are thinking. So we are considering all the use cases. This is a video showing the application, real. Okay, so speed up a little bit. I don't type and do these things. So what we are doing is editing this header, just clicking there. Now we have a mood board where we can add, change to 5 images, the layout. Then we add a new speaker more. That is my friend. And I say I want my JBL now. And then you can also drag and drop. Everything that you see is the React application. Live, I didn't cheat, okay? And you can just drag and drop and do your stuff. And then save and down. No applause. Okay, I'm gonna do the demo. I'm gonna do the demo live because it looks like the videos are not exciting. So this quickly, to don't bore the people to death with technical stuff. The application is built using a content entity, let's say a node, as we know in Drupal. Every node or every content entity has fields, so they are fieldable. And what we do in every field is we use paragraphs. Do you know paragraphs? Yes? Yeah, good. So we have a shit ton of paragraphs. I'm gonna show you a screenshot that I was like, and every paragraph has their own look and feel, every paragraph has their own behavior, and they are synced together from the application, the React application with Drupal. That means that if we have an accordion module in Drupal to manage exactly how the accordion behaves, then we have another component in the React application that is pretty much attached to that one. So in the future, what we want to do is open source these components, both in Drupal and both in React. That means that you can install one and the other, and everything should play well together. This is the list. As I said, you can scroll down. There are a lot of them. And what's this exactly? Okay, this is the interface, the look and feel of the application. As I say, this is more an app, and it's like you have your menu there, and then you have always your, let's say, canvas where you just put your stuff, drag and drop elements. What are the pain points that we found during this process? That it was like more than 1 year, more or less. Pretty much, a little bit less. Okay, so less than 1 year of pain, but a lot of pain. So first, performance. There is an issue with the JSON API. It can manage a lot of things, but not nested queries or nested entities. That means that probably it can be endless and a lot of sub levels of nesting. And that's not really good for JSON API. I'm not saying that JSON API is not good for you, but it depends on the case. Right now, we are considering as a solution GraphQL. Probably we try with GraphQL and we end up in the same place or not, who knows. But it works to give it a try, okay? Because now all the hipster developers and really fancy Facebook stuff, and GraphQL is one of those. So, another thing is the lock of the content, because this application, as you see it, it should be for collaborative editing. That means that if I'm editing one page, probably someone else or my colleagues are editing the same page. Then what happens when you are trying to edit the same node and save? You can't, because it's already edited by another person. So we are trying to manage that using a lock thingy, but still it could be nice that you can just work at the same time, like you do it in Google Docs or something. So we are still working on that. There are two alternatives for that. One using a Node.js middleware, or the other start to play around with entity reference revisions and see if that does the trick. Let's see. So I guess I expect more pain in the future. We have UX limitations. I mean, the application is nice, it's easy to use, but still there are a lot of clickings to save, and for example, when you drag and drop a new component, you have to save it because it's not actually, created. But there are a few things that we can reduce the amount of clicks and, and do a better experience for the editors. Demo, do I have time for demo? 5-10 minutes? 5? A lot of questions?
No, not so much questions, so you have plenty of time.
Sure. So I'm gonna do a quick demo because it looks like the video was not as exciting. So you are a really tough audience. So let me do it this way. Here are as I said, all the paragraphs are here. Can you see this more or less? Yeah, that's a big screen. So these are all the paragraphs. This is Drupal itself. It doesn't have any, any special thing. It just knows node type is page, and if you go to the content type, you can see that we have a modules thingy, and it's just a entity reference to paragraph, and then there is unlimited, and you can add as many paragraphs as you want, more or less, no much. And this is exactly the application. And let's start editing again. So, as I say, you can just click, edit. Let's find a few images. Oh, what I have this, yeah, got it. It's my fault. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So it looks better. And let's add one of the images. Drag and drop is upload. I just save, or I edit and say this. Let's see if I get applause now. Okay. I'm gonna show you this one because I really like it. Oh, this is a game? Oh man. Okay, this is a problem I have in my computer, I don't know, but it just takes these things all the time. Yeah, I know. So this is the mood board that I really like because you can just, switch the layout here, like to 3, 4, or 5 images. Really nice job by Martin. And also you can just drag and drop and just put those wherever you want. Or you can just edit them and, change the image. And also edit the name. Here, there are like some settings for every specific thing. You can see, let's put this one. As I said, there's a lot of, clicking to enable the editing here. So we need to find a way where you recognize when someone wants to drag or edit or something. You can see the accordion one, So more or less, I'm gonna leave it there. If you have any question, you want to see it live or whatever, we can do it later. Okay, let me finish the presentation. There are a few slides remaining, but quickly. So there are a few resources there. I'm gonna share the slides as I said. We've been sprinting all the week. One of the best things of sprinting is that you can learn how to do these kind of things, because you sit down together with people that they probably are more experienced or less experienced than you, and it's really good to to do hands-on work, not only come sit down there in super comfy chairs and listen people talking. It's really good to just get your hand dirty sometimes. So come to the sprints. I guess we have sprints today and tomorrow still. Yes? Good. Sadly, I had to leave today after my session, few minutes or hours. But there are going to be people. You can ask Rachel, or you can ask the guys that are in the sprint. Don't be shy, just jump in, ask someone if someone can help you. It's a really good experience. And now all the spam comes. So we are organizing a Drupal Surf Camp before Drupal Dev Days, that is in Lisbon. Then we have a Drupal Hack Camp in Bucharest, that is a security-related conference. Pretty interesting now that we have GDPR, and then we have the 3 Drupal Geddons. I guess this is a must. And as I say, Drupal Dev Days in Lisbon is from the 2nd of July to the 6th. The weekend before is the Surf Camp. You can buy your tickets and come. I'm going to be there. Also Floris and cool guys. Don't worry about the surfing because it's for newbies. If you're really interested in Headless and the couple, you should go to New York. Okay, beautiful city and also really good conference. Preston is the one that knows more about that, but this is going to be interesting. And it's the couple Drupal days is going to be more or less like the Drupal Dev Days. So it's going to be a lot hands-on stuff. Drupal Year, of course, in September. And questions. Can anyone take the picture? Because I guess it's the biggest screen where I have put this slide. How do you see it from that light? It's disgusting, yes. Okay.
It's vulgar. That's what it is. It's vulgar.
It's an inappropriate?
It's inappropriate content. I'm going to have to march you out of the building.
Okay, thank you.
Unacceptable. There are a couple of questions. So first of all, Woot is asking, can we download the demo somewhere?
We really want to create an environment where people can access and play around with the demo and destroy it. But download the demo right now, nope. We will open source the components, as I say, the React and the components and the Drupal modules, as long as we know what we are going to do. Because right now there are a few different paths, and we don't want to spend more time because it was really costly, as I say, painful, this application. Okay.
Okay, and next question is, how would you handle providing an API for a particular front end? What I mean is, you don't want the front end agency devs having to learn the JSON API syntax. Any front-end developer that wants to get into web development understands JSON API is a standard, so they can consume the content from Drupal in an easy way. And actually, I guess you don't even need to code any line of PHP or anything to consume data from Drupal. It's just a few clicks, you enable the modules, and you start to export all the entities, all the content and everything in a proper JSON standard format. Okay, makes sense. All right, I think that's all for questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.